Welcome to the Funhaus Podcast.
Welcome. I'm your host, Ryan Haley, and this is...
I'm so sorry to people who listen in their cars.
So my bad.
It's Lindsay. Hello, everybody. Welcome. We've got a fun little show. It's a very casual, laid-back show today. I want to talk about, a little recap from last week.
Okay.
And talk about some games that we're playing. You're not playing any games. You have a real life and do real shit. But I mostly stay at home and play video games. But last week we did a Zelda drunk stream, which is actually a tie-in for both of those topics.
Yeah,
and
we did do that, didn't we?
Yeah, we did a drunk stream on the Funhaus YouTube channel, and that's where we just, get wasted, play a video game. And you don't normally drink liquor.
No,
Right.
I hope everyone liked it. I haven't. I don't remember a second of it. I remember the first hour.
I don't remember, basically, I also left because I was having a package delivered and I had to go track that down. So I missed the end. But Dado came in and I left. So Dado, the Destiny guy, was here and he came in. But I don't remember sort of where we ended the game at. But I also, like I said, I wasn't there.
Well, I am not the person to ask.
No, you're not.
Yeah, that was a fucked up. It's been said before. Drunk streams are fucked up.
I know. I'd rather do high streams.
Well, okay. Most streams. Well, we don't have to get into
Okay,
that.
hang on a second. Didn't you quit smoking weed this year?
Yeah, I did. I have. I'm doing good. However, we've talked about our different histories of drinking alcohol on this show.
Yes.
And
it's kind of messed up. Yeah.
I've gone hills and valleys with it, but when I go out, I drink just a bunch of Pacificos with limes in it. I'm boring. And if they don't got Pacifico, give me Modelo. They don't got Modelo, give me Tecate. I like that Mexican beer. And I can put back 6, 7, 8, 9, and more with beers over a long period of time. And I feel a little buzzed, but it's not a big deal. But yeah, I hate drinking liquor. I used to drink liquor in high school and college, and there's a reason I have stopped. And you will see it in that drunk stream if you watch the stream or the video that we're going to be making from it. Because I just turned into a zombie, like a idiot zombie, and I don't remember anything. And then I wake up and I feel like shit. I'm like, what did I do? Was I an idiot? I probably was.
Yeah. Well,
I hate that feeling.
I have that fear too. And I mean, I don't think I got, as drunk as you did.
Which doesn't make sense to me. How was I? What did I do differently?
I also walked away at a certain point, and I also heard that you were just doing secret shots. You were doing bits where you're doing extra shots, is what I had heard. So maybe you don't remember that either.
I don't remember that, but that would at least make sense.
But that may or may not be true because I have not watched the VOD. But I have the same question where I go, what did I do? Did I say something fucking stupid? I do remember John wanting to open a beer for you with his phone.
Well, I remember that. That was early enough. That was insane.
And I had his phone and I was like, no, I'm not going to do this. Do you know what happened?
I've heard, but please retell.
I said, no, I'm not going to let this happen. And I held onto his phone, and then I was also drunk.
You say this happened, but for the people who don't remember, it was opening one of my Pacifico bottles with his phone.
Yeah, he wanted to take his own phone and hold the beer in one hand and swing upward with his other phone,
like
you
machete.
would do. Yeah, you would do a knife or something.
Yeah,
to
he would
saber
saber.
Yeah.
So he wanted to do that, and I was like, you know what? No. And then I also was like, well, I'm torn between, and I verbalized this. I said, I'm torn between giving you your phone to create content that's going to end up crazy and hilarious, but also being normal and rational and being that's a bad idea, and I don't want you to ruin your phone. And because I was drinking and we were live, I was like, here you go.
Well, yeah, but
take your phone.
The way he said it, though, it seemed like he had experience doing this, and that it was a thing he always does.
He's
So he's like, oh, give me this. Here, I'll show you. And I'm like, okay.
And he was like, his phone was already. He's like, my phone's already scratched, and so I gave it to him. I gave him his phone, and he's like, see, it's fine. And then he clicked the button to turn the screen on, and it was just crazy, nothing, just white lines, and and I was like, oh, I feel like that's my fault because I gave him his phone.
Well, I
feel
it's not my fault because it was my fucking beer that he was trying to open. He was trying to help me.
It's John Smith's fault. That was crazy. Only a crazy
I feel bad for him.
moment, But the stream, I think, will turn into a really great VOD because it was pretty crazy. But I vote maybe let's just do like high streams.
Well, it's just like
Because it just feels like so much more relaxed. And like I don't feel like shit the next day.
I'm surprised to hear you say I was taking secret shots because usually I know better, like I remember at about an hour in me doing the math, and being like, I'm pretty sure I've taken like 8 shots in this hour. I'm going to be so fucked up. And that was like one of my last thoughts. But like,
maybe you weren't, but I just thought I heard that.
No, you did take a secret shot because I came in with a ball of tequila and passed it around to everybody.
Oh.
Well, that was when I was in like 8th or 9th grade, when I first started drinking, right? Like that was the problem. It was just like, you take a couple shots with your friends. You're like, is anyone drunk yet? You wait like 20 minutes. You're like, we need to take like 2 or 3 more. You take 2 or 3 more. Anyone drunk? And then like, it doesn't. Then flash forward to 30 minutes and it just all hits you at once.
Yeah, everyone was properly fucked up once I got in, about with 45 minutes left in the stream.
Was I still in there at that point?
You weren't.
Okay, so I
Dado
had
and Danielle were, but it was one of those things where you arrive late to a party and everyone's already drunk. Yeah. But you're like, shit, I really want to catch up, but the more you drink, you're like, nah, there's no way I can catch up to these people. That's how I felt.
Yeah.
We were gone, or I was.
Yeah, and we were just pouring vodka and orange juice from a pitcher, so it was a mix. So it was just screwdrivers, and every screwdriver was like high school because that's what I would drink in high school.
And they were green.
Oh yeah, John dyed them green because it was green. Anyways, so a new Zelda came out. I've just started playing a little bit of it last night, and I mean I had played Breath of the Wild back in 2018, so I think I was gonna be excited for this one no matter what. It's very much the same, but like with some new mechanics. But that Zelda in 2018, Breath of the Wild. I know it came out before that. That was the first time I played Zelda.
Really?
Yeah, I never really played. I think maybe I might have been like, let me have the controller and played some of the originals. I don't even know them.
Yeah, let me blow your mind right now. This is actually the very first Zelda that I've ever played.
Really?
I played a little.
You didn't play Breath of the Wild?
I didn't play Breath of the Wild.
It's also really fun. But now I think it'd be harder to go backwards. But are you enjoying it?
Yeah, it's fun. It's really fun. I'm having a great time with like the whole building mechanics.
Yeah.
Attaching shit. Because I've asked Omar, Jacob, and Charlotte if that was a new mechanic in the game or if that was included in Breath of the Wild.
Like attaching stuff?
Yeah.
It's new.
And it's completely new.
Yeah.
I'm having a complete blast with it. It's so fun.
Though this is going to date myself, but the first Zelda
we're all the
played,
same age, Ryan.
We're all the same age, Ryan.
was the first one on the original Nintendo. When I'd go play with my cousins.
I'm sure I was
they
alive.
Loved it.
Yeah, I dabbled with that too, but I didn't really like sink my teeth.
Oh no, yeah. Well, it won't surprise you to know I never really got into Zelda. I just played it with my cousins.
Not your type of game, right?
Definitely not my type of game. Yeah, the Macarena of Time, not for me.
Macarena of Time. 1987 was the first Zelda, which I'm not dating myself, and that's definitely not the year that I was born. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it, and I've literally only played like 2 hours of it. I don't even think I got as far as we got on the drunk stream, so I'm looking forward to playing it.
Now, for the video game novices out there like me, why do people like Zelda, and why do people not just like it, beloved it so much? It seems to be one of the most loved games ever.
I don't think I can answer that question for you as somebody who only kind of got into it a couple years ago. But I liked that game because the gameplay mechanics were super fun. I like open world. I like quest lines. I like the special abilities, and I like puzzles. And there's the shrines that have like the puzzle mechanics. So you kind of have to think and figure out if I move this thing there, and can I get up there?
Okay.
Yeah, I love that shit. So.
You don't like puzzles, Ryan?
No, I like puzzles, but certain kinds of puzzles.
Smashing vases, finding rewards, like loot, shit like that. Yeah. There's like loot, so it's fun.
Do you consider Tetris a puzzle?
Absolutely. Tetris is a puzzle game.
All right, well, then I love puzzles.
Have you played Tetris Effect yet?
Shit out of Tetris. I believe we've talked about this. Yeah. I love Tetris Effect. Okay. But I cannot physically beat the final level. Like I get to the very, very end of it. I'll do pretty good, and then I can't do it, man.
One of these days, Ryan, we're gonna beat it. All right, one of these days.
I've even tried it on easier.
On easier.
Not totally easy, but.
Next high stream we'll beat that game for you.
Well,
Okay.
I can't wait to put in more hours in Zelda. But the other thing I spent a lot of hours doing is watching all of the new Queer Eye season, which I asked you if you've ever watched it.
Oh,
Are you talking about the old Queer Eye or the new Queer Eye?
I've watched both, but new. I
What
like.
are your thoughts on Queer Eye? You like it?
Oh, it's super fun.
It's so
I like
great.
I'm an Anthony man.
You like Anthony?
That's my guy.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah, and then Tan is okay,
Tan France, yeah.
and Jordan Van Fleet's
Jonathan Van Ness.
okay.
JVN.
That's who I meant.
Huh?
He's pretty
Can you
cool
name
too.
the other two?
Then Karamo, and then
Camaro. Vroom, vroom.
I cannot do the last one.
Bobby. Good job.
I can do the last
Good
one.
job.
All right.
So I like watched
Queer
like,
Eye for the Rye Guy.
Yeah, for the Queer Eye for the Reggae. I watched like 4 episodes on Saturday morning, and then I hopped on to like play games, or maybe was it Saturday morning? It was sometime, and I hopped on to play some games, and I was like, I've been crying all morning because that show just, I cry.
Queer Eye makes you cry?
Yeah, all the people going through their journeys and realizing the ways that they can better
Okay,
themselves.
yeah,
and
yeah.
Karamo just talking to people, being like, and tell me how that trauma affected you, and why are you saying that to yourself? And I go, I don't know why I'm saying that to myself. And he's not talking to me, but I'm fucking crying because I'm relating to all these people with issues. And then they get beautiful house makeovers and soul makeovers and physical makeovers.
Did you say soul makeovers?
Yeah, that's the whole point of the
Really?
show. Yeah. Have you never watched Queer Eye?
I've not known.
Oh, Rick needs to watch Queer Eye.
Is it anything like $1 Million Listings?
I don't
It's-
know.
Kind of like that.
Kind of like that?
I've never watched.
How would you
$1 Million.
describe
Really?
Queer Eye to someone who's never seen
Queer
it? How would you
Eye-
pitch it?
It's like I'm trying to think if I know anybody who like I would submit to Queer Eye. But I'm not sure, because usually it's somebody, maybe they have low self-esteem, or maybe they're just really busy and they put all their time into work, or they care too much about others and don't take care of themselves. It's a range of people. So like they would take a person and they would go, Ryan Haley's such an amazing person. He's got so many friends and he does so much for work. He's just dedicated to his craft, but he just doesn't take care of
He
himself.
looks
That's
like a slob.
so like they would come in and they would go, why do you think it is that you don't care? Like they would say this kind of stuff,
Care my own way.
Yeah. I would never, to be clear, I know that a joke to be made would be like, Ryan, I would submit you for Queer, but I would not submit you for Queer because I feel
Why
like
the fuck not? I want to go on that show.
you want to get a makeover?
Yeah, I want to meet Anthony. I want him to make
And
me
you
food.
like learn to, no, you have to make the food. The point is you learn to cook.
Well, he'll tell me how shitty it is then.
But basically then they go
I
in
want
and
that.
you got the 5 guys who do, one does like
Food.
Tan France does like fashion and like tells you how to dress your body and like make sure you feel comfortable and good. It's not just about like what is trendy right now or what looks good. It's like, what do you feel comfortable in? Like sweatpants.
Yes.
He would try really hard to get you out of your sweatpants probably.
Well, then we were on different pages. Then. I don't know if those work out.
JVN does hair and like skincare and like gives you sort of a makeover to kind of like just make you feel good. And then Bobby does like a home makeover. He like kind of renovates your space or provides you a space like that you wanted to be made over.
That I could use.
Anthony does food and shows you how cooking for yourself can be fulfilling and rewarding and like therapeutic and show you recipes. And then Karamo kind of gives you like heart to hearts, like therapy sessions.
Yeah.
Like it
He's cool.
makes me cry. I love that show.
It's
I
very
love that
positive,
show.
Rick.
I have
Got
one
it, got
episode
it.
left and I'm like, I want to watch it, but I'm like, oh no. And there's 7 seasons, so you got plenty to watch, Rick.
7 seasons?
There's 7. They're short. It's like they're like 6 episodes each, I think, usually.
How long
6
are
to
these
7
episodes each?
They're like 45 to 50.
They're very digestible.
Oh yes, like you will binge through them.
Yeah.
You will binge through them, and I cried every single episode.
And then if you like that, you can go and binge watch the old seasons with that dude
seasons.
from RuPaul's Drag Race. You know what I'm
I
talking
haven't
about?
watched RuPaul's Drag Race. I
So
feel like I
what?
should. I know. I feel like it's
Seems
I
right
should
up
watch
your
it.
alley.
I
It's
know.
fucking awesome. Just a drag con in LA.
Well, okay, you say it seems right up your alley, but you also just thought that some country show would be right up my alley. And
No, wait. What
you were
was
like,
that?
"Oh, are you going to Stagecoach?" I'm like, "No."
Well,
and you're like,
okay.
"Well, you're a country girl." I'm like,
I
"What are you
only
talking
said
about?"
that because of that one Funhouse clip where
Me
you
singing
sang an
Shania
entire
Twain.
Shania Twain song. So I was like, wow, Lindsay must love country. But apparently that's like your only country song you know. So
It's not the only one. It's one of the few.
well, I was really very impressed by that. One thing I wanted to ask you about in terms of while we're on the subject of shitty reality,
Oh, okay.
is have you been following this Scandival?
What?
You don't know what I'm talking about? The
No.
word Scandival doesn't mean anything to you?
No, what's Scandival?
Oh my God, Lindsay, you're disappointing me. I got filled in completely this weekend on Scandival, and I was like, you know what? In my head, I'm like, Lindsay fucking Washburn probably knows all about this, and I'm gonna go talk to you about it. Well, it's the Vanderpump Rules posse is completely imploding. It's insane.
Somebody was tweeting about that or something.
It's a Scandival.
What's the Ivol part?
Because there's a guy named Tom Scandival.
Oh.
Or something.
Something.
Is it Sandoval?
Maybe Sandoval. Tom Sandoval. And anyway, now it's a Scandival. It's turned into, he's at the center of the Scandival.
Because I saw I don't want to put her on blast on our podcast who watches it, but somebody retweeted it, like a trailer, and they were like, I'm losing my mind.
Yeah.
And it was just super, and I watched the whole thing. I was like, I don't even watch this show. Why am I watching this trailer of people just yell? They're all sitting in the big half circle and they're all yelling at each other.
Oh, that was probably the reunion that's going to be coming out.
That's the reunion, yeah. So I was watching that being like, what are they talking about? And it's just, cuts Frankenbites of them going, and you never loved me. And then you go, I love, and then they just cut away and they go, what are you talking about? You're crazy. And I'm watching this with no context being like, why am I watching this?
I had that same thought this weekend. Why do I know all these people's problems now? But now I do. Basically, yeah, these people have been filming a TV show for 7 years together, more
8 years or something.
Yeah, and then they're all obviously paired up and stuff. And one of them, Tom and Audrey. Sorry if I get these names wrong.
I don't know. So
whatever. They've been together for fucking a decade, and then there's this one girl at the center of it, Raquel, who's just having all they're basically all fucking, or they're fucking each other.
So is this a family or is this a restaurant?
It's a restaurant.
It's a restaurant, right? Okay, I vaguely know of this show.
And yeah, all the employees.
There's a restaurant in WeHo called Pump.
There's Pump and there's Sir.
I don't know.
Stands for Sexy Unique Restaurant.
Somebody was just telling me about Sir.
Yeah.
They were like, have you been to Sir? And I was like, no.
Yeah.
Gosh, who was that? I don't remember.
Yeah, so anyway, there's this girl that's at the center, and so, now that everyone knows what the Scandival is all about and that she has been so duplicitous, it's just every conversation she has with these girls on the show, you're just there's a double meaning to it now. Well, no, she's asking them so how's your sex life with this guy that she is having sex with to the girl that because they're she's trying to be buddies with them and stuff. Obviously she's just trying to get dirt on how it is, but it comes off in the moment oh, she's just trying to be a good friend, So she's just, and now she's taking time for.
You're right. This is a
Scandival. It's a total Scandival, and it's funny because Lisa Vanderpump is at the center of all this, basically. It's her show.
Yeah.
And have I told you my connection to Lisa Vanderpump?
No, please do. This is going to be the Scandival.
What is it, Ryan?
Oh, I feel like I thought I would have talked about this by now. But one of my first jobs I ever got on here when I came here to Hollywood, 2011, was the season finale of season 2. I day played on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, right?
Wow.
And so I get to work, and then they're like, oh, I'm like, hi, I'm Ryan. I'm the PA for the day. And they're like, oh, here, this is Lisa Vanderpump. And I don't know who the hell this person is, but she's like, you're just going to follow her around and just do whatever she tells you to do, basically, know? And Lisa's like, hello, Ryan, and I'm like, hi. And she's very nice. I love this person.
You were her PA then?
I was her PA for one day. And it was so funny because it was I'm all bright-eyed, I'll do anything, my big first job, she's like, Ryan, come here. And she's like, see this plant in the corner of Sir, Sexy Unique Restaurant? She's like, some of these leaves, it's a fake plant. She's like, some of these leaves are a little dusty, Ryan. Can you, here's some here, she gave me Windex or something and a rag, and was like, just dust every leaf. So I'm just sitting there dusting each individual leaf of this fucking fake plant.
Oh my God.
Wow, here I am in Hollywood. I made it. Dusting a plant for this woman, Lisa Vanderpump. And then it wasn't until years later, I saw her name a lot more.
And
anyway,
and
that's
you're
the
like,
story.
I dusted her leaves. Put me on the Vanderpump. What's it called? Rules?
Vanderpump Rules. I don't know if that show even existed at the time. And they gave me like a little binder full of people's faces, and they were like, "All right," because then I was stationed outside. They were like, "Well, study this. Let us know. Let us know if any of these people come on the walkie-talkie, and then we'll prepare for them." Basically. And it was so funny because they had basically the producers essentially pay some of these people like to get dressed to the nines to come to this party, but they don't tell the Real Housewives, and so they'll like invite some of their like mortal enemies to come, and they know that those people know full well that they're just getting paid to come and get kicked out of this party very publicly, for the show.
How do I get that job?
It's
How do I
crazy.
become somebody's mortal enemy so I can get paid to go to a restaurant and get kicked out?
Right.
Yeah, I'll take
Quote, unquote.
$10,000 for that, please.
Sure.
Thanks.
It was interesting and eye
Wow.
opening.
Well, thank you for sharing that. And I can't wait to hear much more about some of your crazy stories right after this ad break.
Thank you.
Hey everyone, we wanted to take a moment to remind you that RTX 2023 is happening this July 7th through the 9th. RTX is our favorite time of year where we get to interact with all the amazing people that give us opportunity to make content. It's a celebration of all things Rooster Teeth with panels, special guests, community artists, cosplay, and more. There will be exclusive reveals, meets and greets with Rooster Teeth talent and Funhaus talent, like us, talent. And special merch available only during the event. We're changing up how the convention feels this year. It's going to be awesome. Imagine a mini Epcot-style convention on the show floor with different attractions and activations from your favorite Rooster Teeth brands, all wrapped up in a summer camp theme. It's the summer camp for indoor kids with Face Jam's Rat and Grackle Pub, a Red Web escape room, a fuck face museum, Achievement Hunter mini golf, and even more cool stuff like the Rybucks Money Tornado, where you could probably win some cool or crappy prizes. We'll see. So much cool stuff to do that we're saving for you to experience when you get there. So no spoilers. Thanks for listening to us get very excited about RTX. We're looking forward to meeting all of you there. Head on over to rtxaustin.com to get more information about the event and to buy your badge. See you this summer when we're all sweating. Hey, thanks to that sponsor. Yeah, I'm excited for RTX, so that should be a good time. The sponsor is RTX. That's just one ad read.
Oh, okay.
RTX. Anyways, so Ryan, I'm so glad you shared that story because I feel like it's a good segue into my other segment, which is it's not 21 questions because 21 questions is like that game where you like figure something out by asking questions about something, right?
Right.
But this is just more like questions. You are always posting on the subreddit to get a bunch of questions so we can get to know whoever. Mm-hmm. But these are just questions that I thought would be interesting to ask you.
So wait, the game is you asking me interesting questions?
Yeah, I lied about the game. It's not a game.
Okay.
It's just about questions. But I didn't want you to think like...
I was looking forward to a game, but it's fine.
It's kind of like a game.
Whatever you like. I'm an open book.
I think they're interesting questions. And I sorted through a bunch of questions. I used to have this book that's like 4,000 questions to get to know anybody. And it has interesting questions in there. But how many times can I say the word fucking questions? But these are ones that I saw and I go, I would want to know what your answer is.
Okay.
And the first question I put on the list is, what is the most annoying question that people ask you?
What is the most annoying question that people ask me?
I just dropped something.
I don't know. I don't really get annoyed by questions. What's an example of one that you would have, or I don't know.
Like, I guess I'm if somebody is always asking you the same thing of like, Ryan, like, why are you so crazy? Because it's like, what? How do you answer that?
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't been asked that in a while. I don't have a good answer to this.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
off to a great start.
Yeah, sorry. Let me rethink this. I don't know. I'll answer anything.
That's fair. That's nice. Well, I don't know if you want to put that out there.
Well,
actually.
okay.
Well, we can come back to it if you think of one of these questions. If it hits your list, you can bring it up.
Okay.
My next question is, what is the most luxurious thing in your life that you own that you consider a luxury?
My mega pack of ultra soft toilet paper that I'll buy every couple months. I'm just like, oh yeah, just can't wait to use that.
How many ply are we talking?
It's a luxury right there. What?
How many ply? How many like sheets are on like?
I don't know, but I get whatever is just really soft. I don't like the ultra strong. I like the ultra soft. You know, this phone probably.
I knew. I was like, are you gonna say your phone?
Like whenever it comes time to buy a phone, I'm like, all right, just give me the the most of all of it because I use it every day. You know, give me all the data and all the storage because, you know, and I'll just.
So that is. So you
it's
like.
probably,
You
and my bed. Like I splurged on a bed.
The mattress?
The mattress, yeah.
Oh, how much is that?
I think at the time it was like $800 or $900.
Oh,
and then and that was a while ago.
That's about standard. I would say that's
be
standard for a
changed.
mattress.
Yeah, I know, but it was like there was definitely like they're like, well, you can get this mattress. It's it's a couple $100 cheaper, or you can get this one, and it's like soft. And I'm like, and I like fell out. I'm like, all right, give me the more expensive.
So it was
one.
an upsell.
It was an upsell, you know. It was like, yeah.
Because I was gonna say a luxury mattress is upwards of like $3,000 to $6,000. So.
Well, I don't need all that.
Yeah. There's nothing else. Any little like weird things that you have? You don't have like a foot massager or like.
No. I mean, I don't. Those are the things I said are basically the things I'll splurge on, and then it's basically like concerts, it's like or events.
That's a luxury to be able to go to events.
Just going to a bunch of weird stuff.
You don't consider your cool convertible a luxury, Ryan?
Dude, that thing is not only fucked up. I'm going through. It is fucked up right now. I need to talk to you about it later. Right now the windshield wipers will not stop.
Oh.
And then on top of that, every once in a while.
Stop?
Yes, they literally won't stop. And then on top of that, the blinker will just all of a sudden be like, okay, you're turning left for 5 miles. And I'm like, no matter what I do, I have to, it just says I'm going left.
Sounds like you got an electrical problem.
I have an electrical problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's a whole other, I feel like I know the answer for why this is happening. And I don't really want to go into it, but I puked in my car. I wasn't drunk. I was choking. Okay.
Wait, what? Hold on.
I know. Raised lots of questions, but I wasn't drunk. I was choking and I puked, and I'm pretty sure I did it all over the steering wheel, and it literally is now making it to where those two things are happening, and it's in the shop right now across the street.
Okay. Well, at least it's in the shop.
Yeah. So no, my car's not.
Did you clean the puke before you delivered it to the shop, or is this?
Well, that was the other thing. I left it in there for way too long, and then I knew I was going to take it to the shop. So then I did a pretty deep clean, and I did tell the guy what happened. I'm like, this is pretty gross. I'm sorry, but I'm pretty sure this is why this is happening. And he was like, oh my god. Wow. I mean, I felt terrible telling him that. I felt so bad.
He said, oh my god. Oh, so when did that happen? Last week?
Yeah, about 10 days ago.
So that happened last week. So that was probably the worst thing that happened to you last week. What is the best thing that happened to you last week?
Oh, there was fun. Well, hold on. I feel like I did something fun last week.
You did the drunk stream.
What did I do? I went to Unusual Tuesday. Oh, no. I'm sorry. Usually I go to this thing called Unusual Tuesday. It's a little fun open mic and with crazy stuff going on. And I'll do that. But then last Tuesday I went to Mom's home and saw her.
Oh, you went on Tuesday.
Harvard and Stone. Yeah.
That's great. So she's got a residency right
So that was fun. Probably seeing Mom's home. That was
the best thing that happened to you last week. That's so sweet.
I love seeing.
She's going to be so touched.
Support my friends' bands.
Yeah, I think that's great. I guess this question's kind of like a little bit like the luxury one, because I am curious if there is something that you really want, but you're like, I can't afford that. You'd be like, is it equipment? Maybe filming equipment or?
Oh yeah, like I always am, just like I need to get like some crazy filmmaking rig that makes it way easy to like do green screen stuff and whatever. Because every time I want to do that, I just have to do my own stupid poor man's version of it, and it works for what my purposes are. But like, I think I spend a lot more time keying out weird green stuff because of how it doesn't look perfect, So I feel like if I just splurged on more filmmaking stuff, that would work out to my benefit.
Anything specific?
That's the other thing. I'm so technically stupid when it comes to filmmaking, even though
you
that's
don't
my
really
entire
know.
career. It's like I don't even know, and I really don't even want to know. I just want something that I can just set up and press play, and then I put it in my computer.
Any like musical instruments that you would really want, but you're like, I can't.
That's actually probably a good. That's a good answer. I mean, I all my music equipment is pretty shitty, so I could use an awesome new amp and a new guitar and everything.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I get it. Okay. We can move on. I got lots of questions.
Yeah, sure.
If
this
you-
is fun. I'm having a great time. I'm hoping people enjoy listening to this.
I mean, I'm always curious, like when we're just having normal questions or normal conversations, questions will pop into my head and I do ask you them and I just can't wait for what you're going to say. I can't wait for what's going to come out of your mouth.
Welcome to the Rad Pod.
If you can make one rule that everyone had to follow, what rule would you make?
The rule is that I get to write the tax code for this country, and they have to follow it at my behest. Obviously, I'm paying 0%. That's just one little rule, but then I'd make it more fair for all.
Okay.
You know, we don't have to get into the specifics of that.
Can you, so for me to kind of maybe get on board, can you just give me like one idea of like a little perk that might be in your tax code?
I'll give you a bump. If that's
That
what
would
you want.
benefit me. Well, I mean, like, what is the code? Like, free healthcare
Huh?
in the tax code?
Free healthcare? That's not a part of this. You know, I can give. You know, we can figure out a deal.
I feel like a healthcare would be directly related to tax code. Like, if I'm paying tax into something and you say it's going to go towards this.
Okay, yeah, I guess you're right. Well, yeah, you're right. We had the John Roberts decision of with the Obamacare. You might be right, technically, from a legal, constitutional perspective.
Okay.
It's up for it's up for interpretation.
All right, so Ryan's going to write the tax code if he can make a rule.
I'm sure there's other rules that would actually be more fun. That was just what came to my head immediately.
Yeah.
So.
What chance encounter that randomly happened to you changed your life forever?
Changed my life forever?
Yeah.
Probably running into this motherfucking company. You know, like
That's
that was
true.
so random. Like I didn't know about it before, and then all of a sudden.
How did you
I was
hear
a
about
part of
this
it.
job?
My old job, Wisecrack, recommended me. You know,
Somebody that you knew there.
yeah, my boss at my old job knew some of the Funhaus people, and then I saw that, or somebody else had forwarded me the Funhaus job listing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, don't we know somebody there? And he goes, oh my God, you'd be great for that. And he like recommended me.
That's so
then,
sweet to have for somebody
was
to
so random, yeah.
support you that way. That's really cool.
It was, yeah, made me feel great.
How did you get that job, the Wisecrack job?
That I had my initial roommate when I moved here, and a guy I knew from Austin, Jared Bauer. You know, I met him in editing class. We just became, you know, he's a big movie buff, and we just became buddies. And we have very different personalities, but I think that was kind of our, you know, it was fun. Like we became fast friends. And then it was years after I had already moved out here, and he had kind of made connections in Austin too and stuff. And then one day, like years later, he's like, Ryan, I'm starting this company with my buddy, this guy Jacob, and we need an editor. And at the time, I turned him down because I was working for Fred, you know, the Fred channel. And then the longer that the Fred channel went on, I mean, the Fred channel was great because that was like my first big editing job. But then I could kind of see the writing on the walls. I was like, I don't think this channel is going to have much life in it after about 8 months. You know what I mean? And I was right. And so then at some point I was like, hey, Jared, how's that Wisecrack job?
So that was his company? Your buddy started Wisecrack?
My buddy started Wisecrack. And
he was in your editing class.
He was in my editing class.
And that was at where, Austin?
University of Texas.
University in Texas. What made you decide to go to University in Texas?
Well, they have a good film program. And I had applied to like only a couple film. There's not that many good ones, you know what I mean? And the ones that are great, like NYU and USC, fucking cost $1 bazillion. So even though I did send in my application just to see if I could get like scholarships or something, that was like a long shot. So to me, close to UT or close to Tennessee, you know, UT was probably the closest and best one, other than like really like a private one, like Savannah College of Art and Design or something.
Did you apply to other colleges?
I applied to UT, University of New Orleans. University of New Orleans gave me a full ride if I wanted to go, but they have a really small one, and it's a small school. It would have been cool to be in New Orleans, but...
So wait, then what made you make the decision between UT and then the free ride being in a cool city?
You're right. It was a hard decision.
Yeah, what's the moment that you made the
decision?
decision?
For one, Austin's a cool city too.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And so it was essentially just the better film school. You know, it was like there's, you know, Wes Anderson, Richard Linklater, Robert Rodriguez, you know, are all involved, and Quentin Tarantino gives them show stuff there, and it was just kind of like, to me, felt cooler and more prestigious, you know, and Yeah, but you're right. It was
Yeah.
hard passing up.
So I know
other-
that the answer or the question was what chance encounter, but I like to trace everything back like that. I do that with my own life because it's like you made one decision 15 years ago, 16 years ago,
Yeah.
and that's how you got here, which is crazy, right? You go, I decided to give up a free ride and go to this college, and if you didn't do that, there's like a who knows what percentage chance that you would just not be here and we wouldn't be talking.
%. And then all
Isn't that
honestly,
crazy?
It is crazy. And but I really don't even know how I got into UT because it's really if the way UT's set up.
Somebody made a decision that they gave you a little check mark. And if you never got
That's the decision I want to know.
That's
I
the
want to
chance
meet that
encounter.
person because it's like if you're in the top 10% of your class in Texas, you get a free ride or not a free ride. You get a place at UT.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like that means that there's a very small, only like 5% of the whole school is out of state of Texas. Most people are all Texans there. You know. So then, and I was at the bottom of like every metric, like, you know, ACT.
So who gave you that mystery
I
check
really
mark?
think that it was like all the weird extracurricular shit I did in college and in high school and my essays. I think I did a good job at those. So, but I don't know who that was.
Sorry if that
Thank
was
you.
like a little bit elaborate, but I just thought that's so interesting because like same thing. I'm here because I wanted to move to LA and I met my friend she's the reason that I think I am where I am now on rent.com. So that's
Rent.com.
that was what you did in 2007. You go to rent.com.
You were that into that musical?
Yeah, and she was too. We were on the forums. Hey, no, but it's like finding roommates and apartments and stuff. But isn't that just so
And
crazy?
just to think that almost 29,600 minutes ago, you guys, I don't know where I was going with that. Can I tell you a chance encounter that didn't change my life in any way, but still blows my mind in a weird way? Like I still think about it.
Okay.
Like I was walking on the beach with some friends. This is over a decade ago in Venice, and then there was some dude that was just kind of standing up on the balcony of a hotel in Venice, and I just kind of like glanced at it for a second. And then I just thought it'd be funny, a joke for some reason, to go, hey, and I was with Jerry Bauer at the time too. I was like, Jared, look, that's Gary Busey up there, you know. But really, I was doing that one of those things where it's like it kind of looked kind of like him, you know what I mean? But it was like I was just gonna be joking, like, you know, oh, that's just some random person.
Yeah.
And then he like looks, he goes, oh wow, that is Gary Busey up there, and it was Gary Busey. I just had like said that as a joke because it looked like an old guy with white hair, but it ended up actually being Gary Busey.
That's coincidence. Is that
How?
Yeah, it's coincidence.
Did you play the lottery that day?
No.
You should have.
You should have, yeah.
Okay.
Thank you for sharing, that chance encounter. I have a couple more questions while we still have some time.
Sure.
So, this might be interesting. What incredibly strong opinion or belief, which I feel like you might have some, what's an incredibly strong opinion or belief that you have that's just totally and completely unimportant in the grand scheme of things?
Movies should not be over 2 hours and 20 minutes.
Great.
And if you do, I get to, I don't know, get a rebate or something. I'm just trying to figure out a way to incentivize people to keep it within my range of how I prefer my movie length to be.
I know. I mean, I would agree with that.
Yeah, preferably 90 minutes. We need to incentivize, there should be a government-funded agency who has
I think you're mixing this up with the rule that you would...
and their job is to incentivize filmmakers to make their movies 90 minutes or less, between 65 and 90 minutes. And I think everything will balance out. People will go back to the cinemas. It'll recharge the economy, and we'll be in a better place, as a society.
So you don't think, like, oh, Taco Bell should be open. All Taco Bell should have breakfast. There's like an unimportant opinion or a really strong opinion that literally matters, like not really, like in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really care when Taco Bell's open, but
well, that's just an example. But I was trying to think of something if I could think of where you've came to me and been a stickler about something, and then I'm just like, who cares? But I don't remember. I know those moments have happened because I've been surprised. Like, what? Why is Ryan so up in arms about this? But I don't remember. I can't think of anything right now.
Okay.
So we can move on so we don't waste time. But Here's another question. What takes up too much of your time?
Too much of my time?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, in a bad way or?
I mean, if it's too much of your time, I feel like that implies that it's negative. Like it's too much. I don't want to do it this much. It's too much.
Well, I spend most of my waking life editing, it seems.
Yeah.
Right?
Do you feel like you spend too much of your life doing that? Do you wish you did it less?
Well, here's my conflict with the whole thing. No, I don't wish I did it less.
Oh, that's great.
But I wish I did it more efficiently, right?
Okay.
Because like the time I got the most editing done in my lifetime was those first 8 months of the pandemic, right?
Oh.
And that's very telling to me, and because it's basically like I know what my mindset was. It was just kind of like, well, there's literally nothing to do. No one else is doing anything. There's no like FOMO or anything happening. It's just kind of like this is an opportunity to just like, I'm in a room, let's make shit that I've always wanted to make and just fucking go. So I just spend all day, usually, so I just edit up beginning to end all day and I crank shit out like so much more. And then now I'm like, here we are in the non-pandemic times, which theoretically we want. And I'm like, why am I not getting shit done as much? It's because there's all this other shit going on. You know what I mean? And it's I'm totally not using my time as efficiently. And then when I am editing my own stuff, I'm like also watching a movie or, doing other things, listening to a podcast. And really, it's not like my full attention is on it,
Yeah.
So my output is way less. And it's pissing me off, Lindsay. So that's what I wish I could do is go back to that mindset of being like, even in normal times, have it be like, I need to just sit down, bang this shit out, and then get it done efficiently.
Would you say that you experience FOMO? You have FOMO? If you were like at home editing and everybody's like, we're out doing this, you'd be like, fuck, I want to go do that.
Yes and no. I feel like I have a good, strong will about me though. Like, if someone's out there, and I want to do something, get something done, I'm not going to feel that weird about it. But just the fact that on any given day of the week, especially here in LA, there's a million. Mr. Bungle played last week, and the Pixies played, and like all these people. It's like and I gotta pick and choose all this fun stuff I want to do while also accomplishing things that I want to get done. You know what I mean? And maybe it's also like it built up during the pandemic where I'm like, well, fuck, I didn't get to go do all this fun stuff during then. I kind of want to go.
And you know what, Ryan? I would say that is probably the most luxurious thing in your life, that you have both ambitions and goals and the freedom to choose to do all these fun things that you want to do. Isn't that crazy? That's the most luxurious thing in your life, Ryan.
Thank you.
I think that's luxury in anybody's life. But I get it. I have FOMO too. But that's another thing too that I related to that you said is like during the early pandemic, I was like, it's not FOMO that I'm feeling. I think I'm just depressed because like nobody's doing anything and it sucks. Okay, so there's a few more questions we can try to hit. What website do you visit most often?
What website do I visit most often? I guess these days it's the boring ones. YouTube.com, Twitter.com, Gmail.com. I don't know. No, there's,
There's nothing.
Pornhub.com. The normal ones.
Are you in Reddit?
Reddit.com/r/funhouse/r/ween.
Do you get on the apps like TikTok?
Huh?
Do you get on the apps?
No, I feel like we've talked about, TikTok. That's another huge FOMO part of my life where I'm just sitting there going, I feel like I've talked about this on here. I'm such a moron for not taking advantage of TikTok more. And I've started and stopped several times. I just cannot make over the hump. But I feel like I'm going to one day and I'll figure it out. But then by that time, of course, everyone's going to have moved on.
Everyone might have moved on.
Every other fucking app in my life. Like, I go through all of high school and college, and I'm not on Facebook. Everyone's like, Ryan, get on Facebook. Why the fuck are you on Facebook? I'm like, I don't need that in my life. Then all of a sudden I move away to California. I'm like, okay, I'm going to get on Facebook, reconnect with all my friends. Now here we are 10 years later. Everyone's off Facebook. No one gives a fuck. Everyone's like, fuck Facebook. We're on the other 7 apps.
Yeah.
Well, I can't keep up, Lindsay.
Instagram.
I'm on that one too.
I guess that's a good segue into this question. It's what do you wish your brain was better at doing?
Ooh, that's a really good question. What do I wish my brain was better at doing?
I mean, I can say an answer for myself while you're thinking.
What's up?
I was going to say just like discipline, self-discipline.
Really?
Yeah. Being like, I need to do something and not being like, I'll do it later.
Okay.
Or like,
I mean, that's a
or like
human
my biggest thing is I'll
thing.
say something, I have to do this, and I go, nah, I don't. I don't have to. It's kind of fucked up.
I don't have to do fucking anything.
Yeah.
Um,
It's me. Fuck me. Fuck you. That's what I'm saying in the mirror.
I would say, I mean, obviously, I wish I could just, I don't know, do a lot of cool math tricks or something really quickly, just as a fun party trick. But,
Really?
I mean, that's not high up on my priority list.
A human calculator?
Yeah,
That's
but
what you-
also just like, I mean, I am not habitually, I think I am like, I have chronic forgetfulness. You know what I mean? Like, no matter how many times I'll remind myself something, and usually I can learn, I can get better at things, but there's just always going to be a time where like, oh, this thing I've relearned a million times. It's like I just have these momentary giant brain farts.
Well, it's repetition, like in habit and like thinking
totally.
about stuff or something that you're doing all the time. Like you're editing all the time, so there's probably less that you forget there that you just know how to do.
That's true.
Instinctively. But like if you, for example, we were trying to play No Man's Sky last week, and I haven't played since July, and I was like, what am I doing? Even though I literally put like over 100 hours into that game within like a month, but I went back to it 6 months later and go, I'm banging my keyboard on the, because I'm like, I don't know, I don't remember how to play.
Right.
It's been so long. So repetition, frequency.
One of the things I used to habitually lock my keys in my car, like multiple times a week.
That's not the habit that you want to form, right?
I know. But that's the thing is that it got so bad. I'm calling AAA all the time. I'm like using AAA for my family. I'm like, my name's Ann Catherine Haley, trying to use one of her 3 that she gets every 6 months or something,
Oh
and
my gosh.
but at a certain moment, I'm like, I got to get this under control. And so then I did form a habit where every time I'm about to lock my car, I find my keys and I grab them and I look at them.
That's a great habit.
And finally, I still do that to this day. It's just like, okay, lock my car. I look at it and then I close it. And it's like, now I don't do that anymore, but it took a long time.
That's really funny. So remembering is what you wish that your brain was better at.
Yeah, and then obviously, repairing all of the short and long-term memory loss from the countless weed I've smoked. Repair all that shit too.
Yeah,
Make me a god.
Yeah, your brain was better at repairing itself. What is something that a ton of people are obsessed with and love, but you just don't get it? You go, I don't know.
I mean, we can go down the list. Harry Potter, Game of Thrones.
Okay, so TV stuff, movie stuff.
That kind of shit. Like, or just there's every once in a while there's a just giant cultural touchstone that I completely sit out on, and then I try to get into it, and I never. Another one that people are gonna probably get mad at this one, but I just never. I've tried multiple times. I haven't gotten to the end, so I can't really rate it all. But Arrested Development. I feel like I should love that show. Everyone tells me it's amazing, and I just keep watching it. And I'm like, okay, I get this is funny.
It's funny.
It's not bad, and it's really clever.
I think it's tough with shows that people really love that they had their time a little bit earlier because different stuff has come out that's like kind of similar, or even you could, I guess it's objective, but you could say like, or subjective, fucking whatever. But you could say like, this newer thing is funnier. So, and then somebody go, but you gotta watch The Office, for example.
Okay, yeah.
Love The Office. You gotta, which I still watch clips on the TikTok of The Office, and I go,
Office is funny.
It's funny, yeah. But there's shows that I think, you would go, you gotta watch Growing Pains. It's so hilarious. I love it every time that psychologist comes out of his office. Yeah, and then, but you'd be like, somebody would be like, but Big Bang Theory is funnier, which I've never watched Big Bang Theory, but that's the first show that I could think of. So I think it's tough to get into old shows that are critically acclaimed, or not even old like that. I know that's like late aughts Arrested Development. Is that right?
I think so. Yeah.
But I mean, I watched it in 2010 and I thought it was hilarious. So, But like Party Down. I watched Party Down. Do you know that show?
Oh yeah, I watched that back in the day. Did you watch the new stuff?
I wanted to rewatch the old stuff.
But you didn't want to get Stars or Showtime or whatever.
No, I think I have that.
Oh, okay, never mind then. That's what's keeping me.
Oh. No, but I was just gonna say, like, I was rewatching the old stuff to be like, I want to catch up and rewatch it, and I'm watching. I'm like, well, it's funny, but it's not like I thought it was amazing when I watched it the first time. But that happens with movies and TVs, and we were talking about this last week with This Is the End and some other of those movies.
That's right.
That don't maybe necessarily hold up.
The Habitual verse. All right, you probably got what? Time for one more?
Yeah, I could ask you. I'm gonna ask you 2 more questions. Okay. One is, who inspires you to be better?
Oh, to be better?
Mm-hmm.
My mommy.
Really?
Yeah.
Your mommy?
She's just this shining bright light that everyone loves, and just
really?
is trying
That's
to.
so sweet.
She's the most positive person in the world. Her and her.
And Lindsay Washburn. No, I'm just kidding. That's really
Trying to
sweet.
think, though, I don't know. Yeah.
Elise Willems. You could say Elise Willems inspires you to be better.
She crossed my mind. I mean, because she's like so nice, obviously, and trying to spread that.
Trying to spread.
Cool. Not that you're not too. You're the same.
Rick, who inspires you to be better?
Myself every time I look in the mirror.
Oh shit, that's the answer.
Shut up.
I'm also inspired.
It's not Ryan's mommy.
I'm also inspired.
Ryan's
to look at
mommy's a
Rick in the
close third.
Close third. It goes me, somebody else, Ryan's mommy. Okay, last question that I can ask you. What is something that your friends would consider so you?
Well, my high school friends, their nickname for me is the Beast, just because I'm this big Sasquatch guy to them that I don't know, eats weird foods and
do you eat weird foods,
or just eat it? Or I'm just messy is really what I mean. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And so then they're like, "Oh no, the Beast! He's spilled his milk again." I don't know, like just trying to paint a picture. I've known these people since I was 5. So,
okay.
What
about another friend group, like college or anything like that?
I have another friend group. The people I play music with and stuff, they would call me Skates.
Skates?
And there's the music scene in Memphis because, our band was called Jerry Has No Skates. And so they just called me after the band, even though I didn't skate really.
But is there something that you would do that they would go, that's so classic Ryan?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of just, I don't know.
Because I can list like 5
Ryan.
things that anyone here would say. That's just Ryan.
I don't know. I feel
you want me to give you one?
This is my most annoying question. What is just so classic you, Ryan? Well, let me list you 10 things that are just classic me. Yeah. I don't know. What's your fucking list?
Getting a plate of food placed in front of you and eating it without knowing what you're eating, and it's somebody else's order.
Oh, well, there you go. That's happened a couple of times. Yeah.
I would have said something like losing your wallet, because I feel like that's you lose your
it's
wallet.
Common theme. Mm-hmm. It's classic me.
Unopened water bottles. That's your thing.
Yeah, I would push.
I think that was a phase.
That.
I think that was a phase. I don't see that necessarily.
And I drink them at some point. It's not, people act like they never get drinking. They get drinking at some point, and then recycled. And I'm a good person, right, Rick? I drink my plastic water bottle. I need to get it reusable.
Besides like regular things like, you always wear sweatpants, that's so Ryan, or you tuck them into your socks, that's so Ryan.
No, that's an accident.
But it's I guess some actions that you would do that I would think is what this question is asking. Like, yeah, you eat somebody's food because you just go, I don't know, I thought it was mine. So Ryan, Rick, do you
And
have
to be
anything?
clear, it was at a restaurant. It was put in front of me, and then I ate it. And then they were like, "Wait, that's not the thing you ordered." You know, like that was someone else's.
Well, it also happened before too. So.
I know, but it's not like I'm just going up to. I just want to people to. I'm going into people's lunches and eating their food and going, "Whoops, I thought it was mine."
No. There's no ill intent.
There's a context to this.
There's no ill intent, but that's why it makes it like so you, and that's why it's not like, oh, fucking Ryan, this guy's always eating our food. It's like, oh, classic Ryan. He just ate.
It was pretty egregious though. That what I got like a seafood scampi or something like that.
No, you ordered a poke bowl.
Oh,
but you started eating chicken instead.
It was a poke bowl that was supposed to be with fish and stuff.
Yeah.
Which is what I guess poke bowl is.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it's
so
a
then I
raw
got a
cut up
chicken
fish,
bowl.
but they placed a chicken bowl in front of you, and you just started going to town with it.
Well, and that's all I blame for that is just I'm not I guess observant enough to know the difference between what chicken and fish look like just on a glance basis. Or I wasn't looking
Jessica
too closely.
fucking Simpson over here.
I'm sure if I had the fucking focus on it, I just assumed when it got placed in front of me, it was what I ordered. And I ate it. And I got through half the bowl before I realized it was chicken.
That's so
Sounds
funny.
silly.
Yeah, that's hella funny. I have a question for Ryan.
Oh yeah,
what's
go
up,
for it.
Ryan, how does it feel to be more beloved in Memphis than T. Morant, John Morant's father?
Man, I feel bad for the Morants right now. They gotta get it together. What the fuck is going on with them? I mean, like, I guess that's a win for me. But I saw that post on our NBA, right?
Yeah, how does that feel? How does it feel to be so known that you cross over to like a pro sports subreddit?
Well, Memphis doesn't have that much going on, mind you. So there's not that much happening. But that is pretty cool. That did warm my heart whenever someone is talking about the Grizzlies on some random NBA subreddit, and then they bring up, well, Ryan lives in there. That's a consolation prize. That was cool.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I want my goddamn Grizzlies to get better, and John needs to throw his guns into a smolter.
Well, thank you for answering all my questions. Hopefully that was fun.
Thanks for that was fun. Thanks for answering them, or asking them and letting me answer.
Yeah, of course. Check out some more cool Funhouse content over on our main Funhouse channel. We put out this podcast every week, so always tune in and check out the podcast. And if you are a fan of all things Rooster Teeth or Funhouse or Ryan Haley and you want to say, that's so Ryan to him in person, make sure to come to RTX this summer. It's in Austin, Texas, July 7th through the 9th. And there's tickets on sale at rtxaustin.com. So come hang out.
And I'm going to Death Grips tomorrow, and I don't know anyone. No one is coming with me. So please, if you see me at Death Grips, come say hi and let me join your mosh pit.
Is this for just the people watching on Rooster Teeth when this podcast comes out tomorrow?
Yes, I guess you're right. This is coming out on Thursday for YouTube. So
disregard.
Rooster Teeth, please.
Okay.
Everyone at the Death Grips concert.
Thanks for watching, everybody.
Let
We'll
me know.
see you next week.
I can't go alone.